Hi. um, so I want to talk to you about future perspectives in glass processing, and I would like to, given the time constraints we have, like to limit our discussions a bit on the production of single pieces and small batches, small jobs of identical pieces. With small, I mean, can be a few hundred for a facade or something like that, but not for mass production, repeated production of the same things, same parts again. And the main focus will be on order processing, with the objective of entering data only once, and machine data is then generated from the order data. I will talk a little bit about the production, but applications are then window insulation glass units for windows, curtain walls, showers, mirrors, kitchen splashbacks, and balustrades, for example, swimming pool enclosures, things like that. Now, I want to point out particularly two problems that arise in that context. If you are a larger glass manufacturer, you might have a lot of small installer customers, small glaziers that order with you, that have a tendency to no longer send faxes or come with templates into the factory directly, but they send emails with PDFs, with pictures like GIFs or something like that. And you have to enter the order yourself. And the job is sort of done twice because your customer has drawn the picture already. And the other thing is, not every glass manufacturer can produce everything. There are some specialties always, like in this example here, some special Georgian bars, or you might have some weird-shaped insulation glass unit, even with some miters on it or something like that. Or you use a piece of fire protection glass or a complex laminate or so. If in your insulation glass unit you have to produce, and you have to order that externally, or you need some bent and carved glass. So the idea is, the vision is now that you move your order processing into the cloud, and that you have an interface in the cloud where you can where your customers can log in as well and specify what they need. So your small customers wants to install a shower and needs a special part for that with wall adaptation and the cutout in the corner and stuff like that. Or electronic orders for a large customer, a window manufacturer, so go directly into your cloud as well, so they can order there. They don't need to log into your system or send in an email and you import data or anything like that. So this is sort of the idea then. The dark green path that shows your own order processing, your order entry. And on the right-hand side, the light green part is your customer that enters an order himself. On the right-hand side, is a light green path is a supplier of fuel that might produce those special parts like bent glass. Also, like he might then have an interface in the cloud as well. And if one of your customers wants to specify that, then he is linked through to automatically linked through. That needs some standardization of interface, but he's automatically linked through to your supplier and specifies there. He might not even see that he works with an interface of your supplier, but the information, the technical information that he enters is what your supplier can handle. You might not be able to handle that yourself, but you are able to handle the price information. All the costs come back automatically from your supplier, and you have your margin on top and charge your customer the price, and all that is automated. Or for example, Georgian bars, the same thing. You have a supplier of those Georgian bars, and you're automatically linked through for the specification of the Georgian bars to your customer. To your supplier, and the supply and the customer sees and enters the specifications there. So then, after that, then for you do your production planning. All the data goes into production, goes onto your machine. And depending on your machinery, you might have a server that then serves that machinery with your data. And then in the end, delivery, packing, dispatching, delivery will happen can happen in the cloud again, on the server in the cloud, or you can run that in-house in your production server. That's sort of up to you a bit. The horizontal part arrow there, the purple arrow doesn't indicate your production. That's just the big elliptic thing there. The purple path indicates your renewal cycle, your machine upgrades, and all that thing. And the orange ellipses are then sort of indicating supporting software on those paths. So on the purple path, for example, there is a simulation you can do first. You can run a simulation that then runs on actual past production data, so you can see what you will do in the future, how you will perform in the future with your new machines, for example. Okay, so if you go into the cloud, then you have some options for the architecture you choose. Sort of the safest and the most expensive way of doing it is that you have a server in the cloud and you have a server in-house, and they replicate each other. So your customers order in the cloud. Your order processing runs on the local server. And what you enter on the local server will be replicated in the cloud server, and is automatically your backup. What the customer enters on the cloud server will be replicated into your internal server, and is a backup that way as well. So when then it comes to production planning and to order processing, You might have a production server as well, and that is, of course, internal as well. And that will, depending on your machinery, if you have a high degree of automation, if you have sorting, and automated stock feeding, all automated, then you will need reaction times, and that means you always have the production server on the floor. If you are a bit depending on the, there was something else I wanted to mention here. This architecture, of course, copes very well with interrupts on your internet connection, because you can still enter orders. Your customer can still enter orders. There are two different servers, and when internet comes back, they will update each other and be actual again afterwards. If you are quite certain with your internet connection that works well, then you might go with your servers, in both servers or multiple servers when you're quite big in the cloud, and have them all replicate there. If you're then yes, depending on the degree of automation, on what you do there, if you might still need a server in production to support the production processes. But if you only need machine data and no automated handling of the pieces and stuff, then you might even be able to have the production server in the cloud, and you then just optimize and generate a CAC code, for example, and load that onto the machine, and you have production data for your water jet cutters, your routers, whatever you have there, on the machine already, so that if there is a short interruption on the internet, that doesn't affect your production, because you have enough data on the system. So I think others have pointed that out already. There are some relevant emerging technologies. Of course, HTML5 was making it possible that you can implement a tool so that you can enter complex shapes in the cloud already, and we have done that. But other emerging technologies will support the process. So, for example, if so one thing is blockchain technology, so that you can have electronic contracts set up as a blockchain, and that blockchain is extended with every action that goes into the fulfillment of the contract. Like, it's set up on quote and is updated on ordering, on order confirmation, on delivery. You might have partial delivery. All that goes into it, and you can always reproduce what happened if there are any disputes. And the Internet of Things, I think that was earlier discussed quite a lot, and that helps you with your production, with your automation, but you can link it into the blockchain as well. For example, if you if you track your parts when they leave the factory, and then you sort of tick them off automatically, and you can update your contract blockchain with that and say that left the factory. It's not yet accepted by the customer, but it's on its way. So now, as a last thing, like with blockchain, that's for electronic contracts, there's some discussions going on, and that takes sort of unexpected long, as far as I understand it, to make that come alive. But anyway, over time that will come. That's a standardization that goes much further than just the glass industry. But I think what is missing in the glass industry is really some standardization, and I would like to make a proposition here that we all, the software providers, sort of sit together and come up with some at least minimal standards, because our customers have to work together. They have suppliers, they have customers that are glaciers again. They don't run all the same software. Of course, the window manufacturers run a different software again. And if we want to support them, then we need some standards so that the data can be exchanged. In other industries, I think standardization was a success factor for other industries, and I think we should do a similar thing here. So, if you want to help set up some sort of a standardization body, I know there will be in the afternoon some other initiative as well about standardization of the interface to the machines. That's what we need as well. So if you want to help set up a standardization body, then I'm happy to help as well. So please contact me on that email address or visit me in stall 20 in the afternoon. Thank you.
Hi there. Did you like what you just saw? If you did, why don't you like the video, drop us a comment below, and share the video as well, since GPD is all about sharing. And to receive more videos in future, subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click the bell icon. Ciao!